42, 15 minutes before the top of the hour. A couple quick headlines to bring you right now. Another thing to back up the president's calls for extreme vetting, ISIS recruiting child refugees to go to Europe. And now hundreds of those refugees are now missing. This according to a brand new report from a counterterrorism firm. Experts warning that the terror group is radicalizing young children under the age of 18 and paying human traffickers to smuggle them into Europe and also the UK. Terror experts say that more than 300 children went missing alone in 2015. And if you cheat on your taxes, you'll probably end up going to jail, but apparently the same rules do not apply for IRS employees. There's a brand new Inspector General report showing 9 employees were caught cheating on their taxes between April and September. All of them still have their jobs. And those are your headlines. I'll see you shortly. Ainsley, Steve.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Well, this weekend, an appeals court denying a White House bid restore the temporary travel ban. In a tweet, the president wrote, "The opinion of this so-called judge, which essentially takes law enforcement away from our country, is ridiculous and will be overturned."
As we learned, this quote, so-called judge, helped resettle refugees pro bono-wise before overturning the president's immigration order. That's in his past. Here to react, Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, let's talk a little bit about Judge Robart out in the circuit court.
No, in the district court. He's a trial judge in Seattle. The circuit court is the federal appeals court. So he was persuaded by the state of Washington suing in behalf of its employees and everybody that lives there, and the state of Minnesota in a similar lawsuit that A, they are likely to prevail because B, their governmental administration will be so disrupted if the president's executive order stays in place.
Is that true?
It may be true, but it is really not for him to decide. In this respect, Donald Trump is absolutely correct. Not that this is a so-called judge. It's a real, valid Article III judge, meaning a life tenure judge appointed by President Bush, confirmed by the Senate. But here's where President Trump is absolutely correct. Whether you think this is wise or not, whether you think it's disruptive or not, whether you think it's fair to stop everybody, including people with hardship cases, in order to keep a few bad people out, that is a decision for the President of the United States and the President of the United States only. The statute, correct. The statute couldn't be clearer. It's a 1952 statute that expressly says the President of the United States on his own may suspend the immigration of any person, class, or group of people for public health, public safety, or national security. End of the story.
So if that's clear, why is James Robart, why is this judge doing this?
I don't know what's in his head, and I read his opinion over the weekend, and I reread it this morning, and there's just not enough there. I don't know what the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is going to do. You have 3 well-respected judges there. They refused to get involved because they wanted to know more.
So now the U.S. Department of Justice has until what time today to make their case?
Until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, West Coast time, 6 o'clock in the afternoon here. I expect a decision by 9 o'clock tonight as to whether or not they're going to uphold Judge Robart's decision. And if they do, there will be a trial in his courtroom over the lawfulness of President Trump's order. And if they don't, then the order is back in effect, and it will be enforced. We'll go back to where we were when he issued it on January 27th. The authority is his. Whether he exercised that authority prudently is a political judgment. It's not a judicial one.
All right. So, and when Donald Trump says so-called judge, and then you look at his history from the bench, that...
You know, I think the president was upset, and knowing him as I've gotten to in the past few months, I think I can understand his being upset by that. But what this judge did politically before he was on the bench, I honestly think is irrelevant. He has a reputation as a mainstream, even courageous judge. But judges make mistakes. I can tell you from all the times I got reversed. That's why they have appellate courts.
We'll find out today what happens. You're expecting a ruling at 9 o'clock tonight, around that time?
Yes.
Okay.
It could all change.
Yes.
All right.
Tucker may have